It was a sunlit morning at a sprawling movie studio in Los Angeles. The place buzzed with activity, production crews hauling equipment, costume designers rushing down hallways, and actors practicing lines under towering set pieces. Tom Holland, dressed in a casual hoodie and sneakers, had arrived early for an on-site promotional shoot. Despite being a global star, he often opted for a low-key approach, wanting to explore film sets and see what everyone was working on behind the scenes. At first glance, it was just another day in Hollywood, but Tom Holland had no idea that by the end of it, he would change someone's life forever and be reminded of how raw determination can shine through even the toughest circumstances. As Tom Holland wandered around, greeting a few familiar faces, he spotted a small group rehearsing an action scene at the far corner of the studio. They were surrounded by towering green screens, harnesses, and crash mats. A few professional stunt doubles practiced fight choreography, but one person stood out. A young man, maybe in his early 20s, wearing slightly outdated protective gear. He looked eager, yet nervous, carefully observing every move of the stunt coordinator. The young man's name was Kevin. He wasn't listed as an official stunt performer. In fact, he was technically hired as a background extra. But whenever he had a spare moment, he would slip over to watch the real stunt team, fascinated by their skill. He'd even try a few moves himself, albeit with caution, when he thought nobody was looking. Tom Holland's curiosity piqued. He strolled closer, quietly observing Kevin. A sudden burst of choreographed action had the stunt professionals flipping through the air. Kevin instinctively copied a basic roll but landed somewhat awkwardly, wincing in mild pain. "Hey, are you all right?" Tom Holland asked, stepping in to help him up. Kevin blushed and quickly brushed himself off. "I'm fine, thanks," he mumbled, embarrassed. Nearby, a stunt coordinator named Rico shook his head. "Kid, you're not on the stunt team. Just be careful. We don't need untrained people getting hurt." Although Rico spoke matter-of-factly, the words stung. Kevin sighed but nodded respectfully. Tom Holland picked up on the tension and sensed Kevin's discouragement. Tom Holland introduced himself with a friendly smile, though Kevin already recognized him as the actor who played Spider-Man. "I'm Tom Holland," he said, extending a handshake. "You seem really into the stunt work." Kevin's eyes shone with excitement, momentarily forgetting his embarrassment. "Yeah, I've always wanted to be a stunt performer. I practice whenever I can, watch tutorials online, but I never had money for formal training. My parents aren't exactly well off, and I've been working odd jobs just to pay the bills." Rico, overhearing this, chimed in again. "That's all well and good, but stunts are serious business. You can't just watch tutorials and call yourself a stuntman." The coordinator's tone wasn't outright hostile, but it lacked any trace of encouragement. Tom Holland gave Rico a polite nod, then turned back to Kevin. "You've got heart, though. That's clear," he said gently. "Keep at it. Everybody starts somewhere." A brief flicker of hope passed across Kevin's face before a production assistant hurried over, calling Tom Holland to another part of the set. Tom Holland left with a quick wave, but he couldn't shake the image of Kevin's determined expression. Later that afternoon, Tom Holland was filming promotional clips in one of the studio's smaller sound stages. Between takes, he wandered outside for fresh air and found Kevin stationed near a stack of props, helping to load them into a truck. Sweat beaded on Kevin's forehead, but his eyes kept drifting to the adjacent area where stunt rehearsals continued. "Long day?" Tom Holland asked casually, handing Kevin a bottle of water from a nearby cooler. Kevin accepted with gratitude. "Yeah," he exhaled, "but I'm learning so much just being here, even if I'm just carrying props." He glanced over at the stunt crew again, longing evident in his gaze. Tom Holland took a moment to check the area, ensuring no one was eavesdropping. "You know, there are legit stunt schools out there, or programs to get you started. If that's your real dream, maybe you should look into it." Kevin's shoulders slumped slightly. "I looked at one near my neighborhood. The tuition's way out of my range, and I've got to keep working jobs like this to support my mom and siblings. I've tried saving up, but life always gets in the way. Tom Holland frowned, recalling his own early struggles, audition after audition, living with financial insecurity in his first years. He knew that unyielding desire to push forward no matter the odds. "Don't lose hope," he said, his voice earnest. "People told me I'd never make it too, but here I am." The day wrapped up with Tom Holland's scheduled tasks. Just as he was about to leave the lot, he spotted Kevin cleaning up the stunt area, carefully coiling ropes and tidying crash mats. Most crew members had gone home, yet Kevin stayed behind to help. Tom Holland admired the dedication. Approaching quietly, he said, "Hey, thanks for sticking around and helping." "That's above and beyond your job description, I imagine." Kevin shrugged with a humble smile. "The more I learn about this environment, the more I want to be a part of it. One day I want to do big stunts, maybe even in a Spider-Man movie." Tom Holland grinned at the notion, then rummaged in his jacket pocket and pulled out a sleek business card. "Listen, I might know some folks who could help you. There's a stunt coordinator group I'm connected with. They sometimes take on trainees. It's not guaranteed, but if you call this number tomorrow, let them know I sent you. They might at least give you an audition or a scholarship possibility." Kevin gaped at the card, eyes brimming with gratitude. "Are you serious? Wow. I don't know how to thank you." Tom Holland clapped him on the shoulder. "Just keep working. Don't let anyone tell you it's impossible, all right?" The very next day, Kevin woke up early, heart hammering in his chest as he dialed the number. He half expected a quick brush off. "Sorry, we're not looking." But instead, the coordinator on the phone listened with interest. They confirmed Tom Holland's recommendation and invited Kevin to a small tryout session. At the tryout, Kevin had to demonstrate basic tumbling, safe falling techniques, and a short fight choreography segment. He was terrified. Stunt professionals stood around, arms crossed, evaluating every move. Though his technique wasn't polished, Kevin's drive and enthusiasm were obvious. After a nerve-wracking wait, the head coordinator told him, "You're rough around the edges, kid, but we see potential. We'd like to offer you a spot in our apprentice program." Kevin nearly fell over in shock. The apprenticeship covered part of his training costs, and he'd only need to pay a reduced fee. Still more than he had in the bank, but far closer to attainable. He left the tryout feeling as if he'd just leaped off a tall building. Heart pounding but electrified with possibility. As weeks passed, Kevin juggled the apprenticeship and his part-time gigs, living on a shoestring budget. The program was rigorous: early morning warm-ups, hours of learning to fall safely, harness work, reaction timing, wire stunts, and more. He came home each night with bruises and an aching body, yet the flame in his eyes burned brighter. He kept replaying Tom Holland's words in his head. "Don't let anyone tell you it's impossible." Occasionally, he'd return to the movie studio for background work. On one such occasion, Tom Holland happened to be there again. Spotting Kevin from afar, Tom Holland broke into a wide smile. Kevin, in brand new but still modest protective gear, ran up to him and excitedly recounted his progress. "I can do a forward flip off the crash pad now without messing it up every time." They laughed, exchanging updates about the program and Kevin's grueling schedule. "You look happier," Tom Holland noted, genuinely pleased. Kevin nodded. "I've never been more exhausted, but I'm living my dream, at least the beginning of it." Months later, Kevin completed his apprenticeship. A small film production took him on as an entry-level stunt performer for minor scenes. No big paychecks yet, but actual credit as a stunt actor. He saved up enough to help his family move into a safer neighborhood. Though far from wealthy, he was on a trajectory he'd once thought impossible. One afternoon, Tom Holland received a short text message. "Thank you for everything. Couldn't have done it without you. Kevin." Smiling, Tom Holland replied, "Proud of you, mate. Keep it going. And help others when you can, too." Kevin took that advice to heart. Whenever he met another aspiring stunt performer struggling to break in, he'd remember Tom Holland's kindness. He'd share the tips he'd learned, pass along phone numbers, or even recommend them to the same training academy. The cycle of support continued, each small act of guidance planting the seeds for another success story. And that brings us to the end of this story. Thank you for watching until the end. I hope it reminded you that sometimes all it takes is one opportunity, one helping hand to set someone on a life-changing path. If you found this story inspiring, go ahead and like the video, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Hit that notification bell to stay updated on more heartwarming tales. Have a wonderful day.